my connection back? Oh, it says that it's back. Am I back? It doesn't look like that I'm back. Let me check my phone. Refresh. Am I back? I don't know. OBS says that I'm back, I think. Let's see, home. Oh yeah, I'm back, Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, connection died. I don't know why the connection just decide to just like say bye-bye for a few seconds there. Sorry. But I hope the stream is back now. Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's back. But let me just double check one thing. Does ouch still work? Yeah, I figure as much. Ouch doesn't work anymore. Or maybe. Let me just try again. Yep, it's not working. Let me reopen VTuber Plus then. Sorry guys, I just didn't expect the connection to die for a little bit there, which caused everything to say bye-bye. It happens sometimes, right? Because it's like Malaysia has this huge problem with connection usually, or not really just Malaysia, but with let's say East Malaysia, right? Because I'm in East Malaysia. When I was in West Malaysia, it doesn't have that kind of problem a lot, at least. But in East Malaysia, connection keeps dying. Like occasionally. Oh, okay, there it is. It works. It's working now. Yep. Very, very nice. All right, let's get back to the game. All good. Ouch is back. There. So I was fighting this big boy. I met with this big boy right here. What am I supposed to do? Nope. Am I dead? Oh, that looks like a sweet spot. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that is very squishy. I should run. I should totally run. Yeah, stream restart. So game's kind of loud. Can I change the setting here? It's possible, but I would die if I change it here. Yeah, my stream died for a little bit just now. No, connection says bye-bye. Why am I going up here? Whee! Oh my god, it's so hard. Oh, I have to go up. Okay, go. Hee. Sliding. What am I doing? Oh, am I waiting for Finn? You wanna hit me? Woohoo! Oh, Pierce, thanks for taking the hit. What? Oh, you piece. What? Whoop. Help! What am I doing? Help me! Oh god! Yeah, that's right, you little shit. Let me try. Oh, am I supposed to do something here? Oh, you bitch! Yeah. Oh my god! Okay. Oh! Oh, that's nice. Careful, don't step on me. Oh, it's like... Hey man, watch the road.
Enormous. I didn't know POWs could get that big.
They're giving them new stuff. They can make any kind of freak show they want.
I love this game. I can just do whatever I want. Is there something up here that I'm missing? I'm just gonna double check real quick, alright? Also, I'm playing the character on the right side so that I'm not blocking the UI, so that you guys can see what my health is and how consistently horrendous that it's gonna be. Also, before I say anything, yes, I kinda know how to play this game a little bit because I played this like a lot of years back on the PS3 again, right? It's almost like I'm playing back the PS3 games I used to play. Uh-oh. Get yeeted. One shot, let's go. Do I just stay behind this vehicle? Oh god. Whoa, there Claymore? Bye, Piers. You got this. Get cut. I need to see who's shooting at me. Oh, there's a sniper. Okay, okay. Get shit on. Oh god. Help. Piers! Piers! Not like this! Thank you! Piers! What the fuck? I'm rolling though. Help. 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 Not like this. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna die. If I don't have those two things that's on my face right now, yeah, I will not die. Here, let me just climb this real quick. Climb, please. Thank you very much. Oh, you piece. Having fun? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Get yeet! Eat this! How many of you are here? Woohoo! Bug! No! Piers, help! Piers! 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 Help me, Piers! Thank you, Piers! Yay! My hero! You wanna come up here? You wanna come up here? Do you perhaps want to come up here? Can you take care of the sniper? How do I do that though? Oh. I think they're just gonna keep spawning. I think that's a sniper gun. Nice. I didn't die somehow, even though I'm playing like super badly. I don't even know what I'm doing. Something here that I can take? Oh wait, can I just go down here? Oh, I can! Oh, it's a shortcut, I think. Kinda. That's awfully nice.
Finn, get over here. I need you to blow this fence. I'm on it, sir. Setting charges now.
Yeah, come on, Finn, help me. Help your captain, Finn. Come on, Finn. Do it. I'm gonna shoot you if you don't do it. Do it quick. Nice, good job, Finn. But I tried my best, Rogue. Oh, moisturize? Oh yeah, thanks. I will moisturize. Alright, I did it. Thanks again, Rogue. I guess I jumped down. Do I have first aid spray? No, I only have one hand grenade, right? Yeah, one hand grenade. It's a little bit tough. Guns and knife. The assault rifle is really strong, by the way. But like, handgun, it's not bad. You know, so I can punch a little bit faster. Just a little bit faster. Anything else I can take? No? That's all I have. Oh, it's so sad. Going down.
Train car blocking the way. This route's a no-go. I'll blow the car and clear a path.
Oh no.
I need you to cover me till I get it set.
Are you shitting me? Whoa! it's a goddamn rocket launcher?
Don't die on me!
I'm not gonna die if I can shoot them. Ugh. I'm awake! My heart! Oop. Delicious. Delicious. Thanks. There's something here. Sniping! I missed it. I'm off to bed. Have fun me and chat. Alright, Rogue. Thanks for hanging out with me. Really appreciate.
Hang in there.
Have a good sleep. Uh-oh. That one cannot live. That one cannot live. Whee! Ay! Pierce, help! Pierce! Pierce! Thank you, Pierce. Even though you're facing into the wall, thank you. You're the best. Ooh. Where's the goddamn thing? Thanks. Oh no, really? Thanks, Pierce. There's something there. If only I can shoot it. There we go. I'm out of ammo, Finn! I'm out of ammo, Finn! Pierce, help! Over here!
I'm coming!
Oh yeah. Where is it?
Ready to blow. Grab some cover.
What do you mean cover? Where cover? Where cover? What do you mean cover? Where cover? What do you want me to do? Oh, okay, okay, I'm just not close enough. That's right. That's right, easy. I shouldn't have used too much ammo there. This is bad. I'm out of handgun ammo. Should have used knife more.
HQ to Alpha Team. City Hall's on the other side of the bridge. Pick up Bravo and move in.
What's the status? Any casualties?
I didn't get the hurt.
You've got a man down on the bridge.
Oh god.
Tank on the bridge! The whole thing is blocked off! Okay, people. Getting to the wounded is priority one.
How are we supposed to fight against a tank? Am I supposed to fight against a tank? Are you shitting me? I'm just a Chris. I mean, Chris can fight against anything, I'm pretty sure, but still. But still. I need to play this way so that I'm not...
Lay down suppressing fire from the flank. All snipers, form on my mark.
I'm not sniper. I don't have a sniper. Oh, okay, okay.
I'm on it.
Here you go. Here you go, Pierce. You got this.
He's just up ahead, but he's hurt bad. You gotta get him out. Copy that.
Yeah, I should probably eat more then. Chris can punch the tank in half. I know, right? That's Chris. That's Chris we're talking about. Chris! Chris Redfield! I'm so gonna die. Whoa, okay, I'm so... Okay, this is bad. Goodbye, world. Help.
Captain! Over here!
I will. Coming. Thanks, Finn. You the best. My man.
How are you, Finn? How's our injured friend? Still with us. I'm going to administer first aid.
Alpha Team, come in. There's an old T-42 tank moving on your position. Looks like it's had some modifications.
We're bringing out the big guns for us. Be careful, Captain.
Oh. Oh. I'm not the one doing that.
I'm gonna need a bigger gun.
Captain, if you draw the tank out of position, I can take care of that truck.
Oh, don't grab me. Shield, grab, alright. Whee! Woo! Oh fuck! You're treating.
Nice shooting, Pierce.
The way's clear. Better catch up with Captain Redfield. Let's go.
Whoa! Chris, did you just die from? Chris, did you just die from that? Oh god, I've been grabbed. Oh my god, that did so much damage though. Oh
Alpha
god.
Team, come in. There's an old T-42 tank moving on your position.
Okay.
Looks like it's had some modifications.
They're bringing out the big guns for us. Be careful, Captain.
I'm sure they are. Whoa, that's a lot of damage. I want that. Oh wow, nice. That bitch has a shield! I'll get your legs, idiot. That's right. Get out of here. Ow!
I'm gonna need a bigger gun.
Oh!
Captain, if you draw the tank out of position, I can take care of that truck.
Alright. Hear you loud and clear, Pierce. I will try it. This bitch! Oh my god, look at this guy.
Rifle's not gonna cut it. Something more kick.
Nice shooting, Pierce.
Way's clear. Better catch up with Captain Redfield.
Wow, that bitch. Good job, Pierce. You're the best. Has something new happened while shopping? Someone loudly complaining about how unbelievably rude I am. That's just weird. What did you even do? For waiting in line in front of them? I guess... Yeah, I guess people are privileged like that sometimes. I get that. It's like, how are you not letting me... And like... They're like, how are you in front of me when I'm like older than you? I get that a lot too, and usually so auntie. I complain about this a lot a few streams back. Wait, I can use that? Wow. What for? Who's shooting at me? So regard who's shooting at me, I would destroy you. Duck? Oh, okay. Guess I can use a knife. Uh-oh. Oh, oh! Pierce, there's someone on my tail. Pierce! Pierce, I swear to God!
Heading for the upper level of the bridge. Meet me up on top.
Here's just someone... Someone... There's a sniper on my ass. Woo. So this is normal behavior? Oh, totally not normal. It is anything but normal. Something back here? Something we need to push on?
Pierce. 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 Over here. Hey! Pierce!
Oh, Pierce is dying. Okay, okay.
Wait, not now.
What am I trying to do? Oh,
I'll lower the ladder. Come on up.
you got this, Pierce. Don't worry. Hi, Roxas. What are you aiming at? Yeet! Yeet! What are they even saying? Oh wait, this Pierce. Oh, we were reunited. Then there's something that I can... Maybe I should go down. Here, let's go down. I think there's something I can take down here, question mark. Oh, I might be dead. Yep. Uh-oh. No, 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 you die first. Oh, fuck. Bitch. Wee! Look at that, so many things. And some ammo as well. Just a little bit. Yeet! I'm so used to playing on this side, I'm sorry. You guys can look at my health that way. What?
Pierce. Over here.
Over here! Wee! Oh shit.
Enemy reinforcements are moving in. Ben, I need you here.
Oh
I got a
no.
problem here that can't walk. Go on without me for now.
No one on this team gets left behind. We'll hold our positions for now. I don't care if you have to drag him. Just get your butts up here. Yes, sir. On my way.
Wow, Finn. You're so strong.
We've got to keep this bridge secure until Finn gets back.
That's that big thing? How am I supposed to deal with that big thing? I can't aim, holy shit. There, thank you. I have no more ammo, man. Jeez. I'm going in. Wee! I'm gonna die. Pierce, you better save me. My god, how tough are you? Oh fuck, I shouldn't be here. I healed those stupid.
Vin, report your current location.
I'm at the bottom of the ladder, sir. Almost there.
Cool. Stupid. I cannot be there. The big thing will just shoot this thing, and I'm gonna die if I be there. There, that's right. Whoop.
Here, sir. Okay, time to get to work.
You have no head, stupid.
Cut off the reinforcements. I want you to blow the bridge. Yes, sir.
That's right. Fuck. This is bad. Get fucked.
I'll get started planting the explosives.
Thanks, Finn.
All right, make it quick.
Thanks. Jeez. It's really bad. Wait, you're way stronger than me.
Everyone fall back and find cover.
Go! Run! Sliding!
Captain, that railway company. You want to come as close as you can before they blow the target. Vin, it's all on you now.
Roger that.
Sorry, Pierce. Oh. Nice, Finn. You're so good. When they made Resident Evil 6, Capcom wasn't really sure what they wanted the series to be anymore. They also wanted it to be like Call of Duty, so it'll sell a ton of copies like that series, which is why RE6 is so actiony. Oh, which is also why it's kind of like my favorite Resident Evil so far. It's a little bit to me, it's a little bit of actiony done well. Like I played Resident Evil 2 remake, and I like that as well. I like that for the horror for the horror aspect. I like this for the action aspect. Done well, I would say.
Sherry Birkin, you were in Raccoon City.
How do you know that?
Claire,
Wait, are you Chris?
my sisters told me all about you.
Chris, the man is a wanted insurgent.
Yes, he's a mercenary, but right now he's under the protection of the US government. He's no threat to the PSAA.
Unless someone pays me to be.
What did you just say?
I'll shoot you right now. Feels like I will snipe your head off, bitch.
What? Nothing.
HQ to Alpha Team. Reinforcements are unable to land due to anti-aircraft artillery. Take them out.
Alpha Team copy.
We're picking up a large bogey on radar.
Oh no.
Heading right for you.
It's fun in that regard. I played 6 Call with a friend and it was pretty fun. Yeah. Like the game the game is already pretty fun. I like the game.
We'll talk later. Right now you need to find cover.
Shoot that thing. If only I have enough ammo. My ears are bleeding, don't worry about it.
Come in. This is Echo. Those 3 anti-aircraft turrets are holding us at bay.
Yeah.
Roger that, Echo. We'll take care of him for
You
you.
think that I can take that thing down? I'm trying to find bullets.
Target's over here!
Chris, we'll give you a hand.
Out of the question. You need to get to safety.
Don't worry about me. Let's go. We need the help.
Hi. How are you doing? This is really strong. Ah! Oh, help me! Oh God, Pierce! Oh, thanks, Sherry. Thanks. Oh, my heart. Oh, I think I can do it. Let's go! Yup. Oh my God, it's so fast. Ah, okay. All right, that's one gun. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Sorry, Finn. Give me a moment. Let me do this big thing first. I know I'm not supposed to do it. Oh. What? Maybe I should have done that. Okay, you know what? Here, Finn, I'm coming. Finn, I'm not coming at this point because the big thing is here. Sorry. I think my favorite part of 6 was Leon's story. Oh, I just finished Leon's story not too long ago. And now I'm starting Chris's. Leon's story is really good. Can I get him? What is the... Oh, hi! I don't think... I'm not seeing any more guns like that. It's getting... It got destroyed. Alright, Finn, I'm coming. Hi, Finn. Uh-oh. There's something here. Oh yeah, I forgot I need to play this way. Speaking of that, I'm so damn hyped for Resident Evil 4 remake. Ooh, I don't know what that is. I never played Resident Evil 4. Is it good? I should probably look at it. Hi, Sherry. Oh, I can use gun here. I can use knife. That's right. I have a few. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Get cut. Get cut. Get cut, get cut, get cut. Damn, Finn. Ammo. Costs money, man. Jeez. I shouldn't have done that. Pierce, help! Pierce! Pierce! Not like this, Pierce! Oh, thanks, Sherry. You work as well. Thank you. Do I have... Uh oh. Oh, I cannot. I don't have herbs anymore. There, now I can fight again. Punch the tank out of them, Chris! I need a power fist! 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 Cut! Fist! Ew. Oh, look at that bitch running away from my knife. I cannot believe it. I got you! Nice. Yeet. Oh yeah?
We'll take care of one of those big ones.
How am I supposed to do that? Maybe this? Whee! You're welcome, Jake. Yeet! You got this, Jake. I need to distract that one, I guess? Oh, nice, I'm getting some ammo. Good. Maybe I should try RE4, hell yeah. Oh, shit's back. It saw me. Why are you shooting? Ooh.
Just need a little more time.
Yeah, I know, Finn. I know. Ooh. Squishy. Ooh, dang squishy. Ooh.
Charges are set. Everyone get back.
I'm not there anymore.
Only 2 guns left.
That works. Alright, good job, guys, good job. The original game still holds a kind of decently despite being 2005. Whoa, that's huge! Can I kill this thing? I never tried to kill this thing at all. Chris, cut his leg! Oh! Help! I'm sorry, big boy. Gonna run. Oh yeah, you want me? Oh shit, sorry. Oh god. Running away. Ooh. That's a big boy. I seriously very tempted to kill that thing. But I don't know if it's possible. Hey, the fuck! Who the fuck? Thanks, Pierce. Pierce, no! Oh, thanks, Pierce. Pierce, help! Oh yeah, that's right. Where am I trying to go? I should try to get the big boy. But then again, there's like a sniper around, making things hard. Ah, there's too many around here. It's a little bit hard. I'm so not gonna have enough ammo for this. Oh. Climb. Go. I can do something. Go. What's the button? Alright. Oh yeah, big boy, that's painful, isn't it? Wait, did I actually kill it? Oh my god, I'm insane? Well, all's well. I'm actually insane, killed it. I killed this thing, oh my god, it's dead. It's dead? Oh, ew. It's actually dead. I didn't think I can kill this thing. 4,000 skill points? Insane. Alright, thanks game. That feels great. You could have just done that when even when I'm not around. I hate this. Oh, it's throwing bombs? I saw that. Get that ass. One bullet. Oh my god, one bullet. Did you ever play RE2 Remake? Yeah, that's like the second Resident Evil game that I played. Like I streamed it 2 years ago during 2 years ago during October for the Halloween special, and I did that. And the game's really fun. I honestly like the game a lot. Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. Thank you. Oh boy, I'm getting aimed like from everywhere. I have a bomb. That's right, stupid. Going in. Yeah. Punch the. Yeah. I got the achievement. I don't know why I did, but I'll take it. Whoop, whoop. Any day now, Finn. What are you doing? Oh hi. Whoop, 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 whoop. Ah, fuck! I didn't know anyone. I didn't know. I didn't see people behind me. Uh oh. Thanks, Sherry. I'm playing so terribly. I don't know how. Don't kill me, don't kill me. Thanks. Oh, nice, Jake. Nice. Oh, nice. Jake, you're so strong. Oh my god. Oh god, oh god. Get cut, stupid. That's right. That's right. Uh-oh. Nice.
Good job, Alpha. One gun left.
Yeah, it took about 10 years.
Giant BOW closing in at your location.
No fucking way. What? No, 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 no. Wait, no, I killed one already. I'm not gonna kill the other one. Unless I can. Do I have enough ammo? Alright, let's try it. It's gonna be so stupid.
Only one to go. Everyone into that underground passage.
Oh, okay, okay. Then guess not. I'm gonna not do that then. Do it, Finn. I'm ready. Pick that door. That's right. Good job, Finn. You're the best. Ooh. Doot. Uh-oh. Whoa. Oh, I need ammo desperately. Sliding. Playing this is make me want to play the other Resident Evil games as well. What happened? Finn, shoot it! Finn? Finn, there's someone in front of you, Finn. What the fuck? The bean! Oh my god, the bean! Help! Oh yeah, baby. Alright, I'm fine. I'll never die with 1 health. That's the power of Resident Evil 6. This is how you survive. You just need 1 health. Uh-oh. Get shot. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Hi Lex, good morning. Did you sleep well? Oh, I've been pet. Where's this? Oh. Kick. That was nice. It's crowded here. Where am I supposed to go? Oh, hi Finn. It was alright. Good to know. I also slept well last night. I'm glad. How's RE6 going? Going well. Nope. Going pretty well. Going pretty good. Shooting, killing. Boop. Trying to save bullets as well. I need the power knife. I need my knife. I need my knife. Since when you're here? Oh no! Shut up. Whee! Sliding. Okay, all good, all good. Oh, can I use this? Yeah! Who the fuck? Oh god, help! Pierce! Oh, I saw a car running this way. Someone stepping on the gas. Someone stepping on the gas and the car just ran across me. Oh, that was brutal. Damn.
Good job, Alpha. One gun left.
Oh, I'm here? Nice. Thanks, game. Sliding. Okay, it's gonna throw a car. I should hide first. Oh, is it that thing? Uh-oh. That's right. You got that, Pierce.
I'm setting charges on the anti-aircraft guns now, but it's gonna take a while. See if you can buy me some time.
Wow, guys, holy shit. Thanks. Hey! How many snipers are there? Where's the sniper? I cannot shoot the weak point, right? Oh, you little shit. Uh-oh. I better run. Go! Go! I'm Chris. I don't need to get back. I'm Chris. Yay. Whoa, what the fuck?
Land until you take care of that other POW. We'll try to hit it from the air. See if it has any weakness.
Yeet. I got a red herb. I got 2 red herbs. Win. Okay, time to run.
This is Echo. Take a look at that thing's back.
Yeah, I was doing it.
Device is directly attached to the organs that are keeping it alive. I don't know how, but see if you can pull it out.
I'm trying. God! Sniper! Ooh. Was that my shot? That was insane. It was here, right? Yeah, here, and then I need to get up somewhere. No. God, I need to save my assault rifles ammo. Don't have much anymore. Sniping with heckin' assault rifle. Oh, the gun is gone? What happened to the gun here? Guys, you guys did something bad, huh? Oh! I recognize that. Ow! Please don't move around. That's your only weak point. Thank you. Pulling it up. What am I doing? Oh. Let's go. Another stick. Oh, it's out. The pee-pee's out.
Targeting those exposed organs. Fire at will.
Ooh. Just like that, I killed the second one.
Echo team will be landing shortly.
The kobold did good. Kobold is so strong.
I already gave the pilot the coordinates.
Thank you so much for your help.
Hey. Hey. We met?
No, you jarheads all look the same to me, pal. Sorry.
You've got to be kidding me.
My mistake. Have a safe flight.
Wow, Chris, gentlemen.
Captain, we're crazy for letting him walk away. How many men have we lost to mercenaries like him?
He's not our problem. We can't lose sight of the BSAA's mission.
To fight bioterrorism, sir.
I know what we're here for, rookie.
I love how Finn is just like, yeah, don't you know that we're trying to fight bioterrorism? Ah, I'm a rookie and I know that. Nah, I'm sure Finn don't mean that. I'm sure Finn is such a good person. There's more? If only an RPG even stronger. I know. I hope. So strong, so cool, so bold. I'm a bold that's so bold. I really just want to make Kobold my main character now. The main let's just say Kobold is my Sona, right? And Droxon is still OC, but Sona is Droxon is still
spread out.
Sona.
Search this place top to bottom.
Damn, what are these things?
Are these people?
Oh, I hate that.
Of life form readings. It's like they're in cocoons.
They're still alive? Insane, they're still alive.
Over here. I'm getting a reading on the other side of this door.
I saw something
Pierce,
shiny.
Finn, you're with me. Everyone else keep searching out here.
HQ. 3 of us are splitting off from the group. Heading further into the building.
The boat has knife. Me has to use one hand to type because Ken has one has face berry on the other one. Kitty very adorable. What was that? I'm going up. Can I get some ammo, please? Like, I am desperately in need of some good old oh. Thanks, game. I said ammo, no skill points. God, I really need ammo. Oh, I could just use knife. I mean, I'm just gonna use knife. It's fine. The boat got this. Cowboy with a knife. Oh, never underestimate. Hi, Pierce.
Pierce, I'm on it.
Pierce. We didn't kick that down. Oh, ugh. Oh shit. Hi. Get out of here. Stab! Guns kill, knife wins wars. Shotgun shells? Whoa! I have a shotty! Oh my god. I got more guns? This shotgun looks like the one that Leon uses. It's okay, I need more ammo. Let's preserve them. I need them. 11 tablets. That's nice. I cannot aim. Oh, I don't like that. I don't think I've seen this in Leon's playthrough. Oh wait, no, there's one scene that spoilers, but I think it's fine. Deborah is also in this thing. So yeah, I've seen it.
Sir.
Uh
Call it into HQ. Roger.
Alright. How do I kill that thing? Oh my god, that thing looks huge. Huh. Ooh. How are we gonna shoot the back or front? Give me your head. Give me your head. Give me your head. I. Wait, since when you come here? Wait, since when you were born? God. Wee. Damn. All right. You're exposed. Look at that meat. I need flash bomb to kill one of them. How am I supposed to make the meat exposed like that? Melee seems strong against this thing. Wait, your back looks exposed. Oh, that... Wow! Your back looks exposed. Here, give me your back. Hey, don't. Oh my god! You're gonna whiff your attack? You're gonna whiff your attack? Oh! Ah! Yeah! Sorry, Pierce. Had to be done. We got. Oh! That was a good shot. They are tough. Good gods, they are tough. Bad idea. I'm Chris, bitch. I'm Chris. Oh. Hello, Chris, please. Oh god. This teaches me a lesson to not play the game in veteran. On the first playthrough. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I doing veteran runs? Are you finally dead? Oh, thank you. Exposing meat on stream. Well, I'm trying to, yeah. Yeah, keep spinning. You're gonna keep spinning. We're playing Dark Souls. We're playing Dark Souls. Oh. Oh my god, that is tough.
VOW's neutralized.
Yeah, it took 10 years.
Search the rest of the place, but stay on your guard.
Took 10 years, man. Oh, burut. Nice. Some burut. How many C4 do you have, Finn? Holy shit, you're crazy. Finn has so much charges. It's insane. Gonna steer kill Finn. Scary. You never know how much charges Finn has. Finn is like, oh, you're blocking my way? C4 on your body. My god. Yuck. No, 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 no. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Chris, please. God damn, Chris. I was trying to be cool. Chris? Chris? Get cut, stupid. Whoop. Whoop. You wanna shoot me? You reloaded? Yo, Finn, let's go. Oh! I tried. Pierce, help me! Thanks, Pierce. You're the best. I couldn't live without you, literally. Ugh. I'm Chris. I'm Chris. Chris never dies. So many charges. Oh, more bullets. Oh yeah. Red herb? I need green herb. Oh god. Please, I want a green herb. I need a green. Game's giving me a lot of shotgun bullets. Should I be afraid? Usually when game does that. Uh-oh. Can't see. Oh shit.
Captain.
Sea virus. That's what the guerrillas were calling it. Nice to see the cavalry's here.
Who are you?
I work here. My name's Ada Wong. They held me hostage.
Sea virus. That must be what's creating those Jawavo.
Yeah, I heard them saying something about that.
What else?
How do you even know?
Maybe you could put your guns down first.
Not until you give us a reason to.
Neo Umbrella.
New umbrella.
The organization supporting the guerrillas. Or at least I think that's what they were calling themselves.
So the sea virus came from them.
And that's all I know.
Thank you. We appreciate your cooperation. Finn. You're in charge of keeping her safe.
Yes, sir.
Keep an eye on her.
Yeah.
Will do.
She is very sus. How could someone be in this vicinity and be so nonchalant about everything that's happening? Did you guys see how big that thing was? How can she be so nonchalant and just like, I work here, me name Ada Wong, ha 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 ha, like something like that. It's like, huh? She's sus as fuck, man. We need to eject her.
Come on, I'll show you a quick way back to the entrance.
I don't trust you at all, like at all, man. Oh, oh, best game. She has nearly exposed chest. That for some reason is often a sign of not trust in fiction or something when women do it. No. It's not about appearance at all. It's about the attitude, and it has nothing to do with appearance. It has nothing to do with appearance. It is right place, wrong place, wrong time. Everything is so I did explain that just now. Yeah, it kind of often goes together a little bit, like Nina, Anna in Tekken. kinda, a little bit. Yeah, but I don't trust her one bit at all, like at all. But then again, this is not. I do not say this because of her appearance. I say this because of her behavior in this vicinity. Everything is so broken and everything, and she's like, "Oh, I'm here. I'm a hostage." Yeah, it's like, aren't you like a little bit shaken about all of these? And what if someone injects something to your body, like the C virus you said? Someone's really shooting. Oh God.
Everyone get to the second floor! The fire's too dangerous!
Shouldn't we try to kill them? I wanna kill them. Oh! Yeet! Shotty! 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 Shot! Shotgun.
Way out on the second floor. I suggest we take it.
Shut the fuck up! I know what I'm doing. No, okay, wait. There's actually too much. Hey, big boy. Oh, that feels good. Also, that feels bad for my ammo. Okay, I'm not gonna do it then. Too much, too much. I don't think I can kill them. Alright, here we go. Oh shit, he almost killed someone.
Your friends are having a hard time.
Ma'am, please, just try to stay out of the way.
Did you leave someone outside? No, right? Ah, god damn it. Oh, oh, you think you're fast? You think you're fast?
Unless we eliminate these hostiles.
That thing looks very adorable, by the way. Look at that thing! It's like a lizard. That thing is like a lizard. I'm sorry, but that thing's very cute. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying that, but my god. Look at that thing! Look at them! What? I pressed wrong button. Get cut! Gonna do phone call for something employment. Alright, Pinky. Good luck for the phone call. Help? What just happened? Did they do something? Oh. Maybe I should just shoot them. Oh, they're a zoner. They're a filthy zoner. I pressed X, but the wrong X. Get cut, stupid. Oh, I'm tired. I'll eat one. What? What are you doing? Come back! Eh. 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 Huh. Oh, that worked. Easy. There's one more, I think. Yep, there's one more, right? Why don't you jump down? Oh, he did. Alright.
Let's move.
This door leads to the warehouse next door. We can get outside through there.
That works surprisingly well. Didn't use a bullet. Look at Finn! How many charges is that? Finn, oh my god. Finn just casually put 2 charges at the door, on every single door. It's like, oh, a locked door? Ah, don't worry. Let me just get my C4 real quick. Bam. There. Easy. No problem. Oh. Can I cut you? No. Whoa. Can I cut Finn? Whoa, they don't have the animation. Well, are you a playable character? Wait. You are a playable character. That's why you have this. Wait, Ada is a... I mean, Ada is a playable character, yeah. There's a Ada campaign. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't like the sound of that. I need guns for this. Oh. Oh no, not these things again. Whoop. Whoa, guns kill them so quick? Uh-oh. Ah, not the gorilla again. What do I even do with that? I think that's why we need the shotgun ammo. I'd rather shoot the back because the meaty side. Whoa, Pierce! What the fuck? That's how you do it? Uh-oh, bad idea. You missed, bitch. That's right. Get the back, get the back. There, we got the back. We got the back, we got the back. We did it, we got the back. Oh, we can counter that move? Oh! That's how we do it! Oh, that's so much easier. Oh my god. Okay, I know how to deal with that now. So we can counter the punch down. That move. Yeah, okay. I got this. Let me just use a bit of knife. I need to save ammo. My god, man. I don't have ammo anymore. This is bad. Am I going to... I hear something. Hey, man. Don't run away.
We're almost out.
No.
Hold it together, people.
Yes, sir.
Stab. Buck. Come here. Don't you even try. A B. A. A B. Oh. Alright, that's good, that's good. It's just skill points. I need something that's more than a skill point. Uh-oh. Where are you? Oh, it's you? Okay. If it's you, it's fine. Don't you even try. Oh! Step, quick, step. Free. Oh, let's go easy kill. Oh, once you know how to fight these things, it feels good to fight them. Free skill point too, and save ammo. The most important thing is saving ammo. I cannot believe I'm playing a veteran. I don't know why. Fastest lockpick skill explosion. True. Cannot argue with that. Sometimes you don't need to lockpick, you just need to explode something. Get the job done, honestly. I'll be a little bit chaotic, but hey. As long as it gets the job done, I'll take it.
Hey, Roger.
Roger! Come up here. Oh. What's scene? I love this game so much. So much fun. Wait, where's the girl? Where's Ada?
The woman, she's gone.
Oh shit.
I don't know what happened. She was here a second ago.
Oh no. Oh shit. I told you she's bad. Shoot her now.
Here's something to remember me by.
What? Oh no. Shoot her! What are you doing? No.
Not like this. No, God damn it!
Oh god. Just like that. Oh no.
Captain, we gotta move.
Fuck.
Now, we gotta go.
I love how my PC cannot handle this. My PC is having screen tear issues. Oh. Not like this, Chris. God, I would be devastated. Oh god. No, that's so terrible. I told you she's bad. Fuck. Oh, I feel like shit. God, that is rough. Dude, just like that, was it four? 4 or 5? 5 comrades, just like that, gone. Ooh, I don't like that. That makes me sad. That made me sad. That's rough, that's rough. I could go for one more, I think. Let me see the time. 6:25. 6:25. One is about an hour. About, right? About. You know what? Let's go for one more. Although before that, let me go open up the lights real quick. Oh my god. Is this the light? I mean, yeah, I guess, in a way. Malzeno is pretty bright. Melizena is pretty bright. God, this makes me sad. I'll play one more chapter. I cannot purchase new skill. Oh, I already have the item drop increase. I had item drop increase, it didn't give me any ammo. If I don't have this, I'm gonna be using knife all for the whole run, it feels like. Quick reload and defense level 2, defense level 2. Defense level 3 needs 80,000. Wow. Use only pistol. I've been using knife. I've been using knife because I don't have ammo to spare. That's how bad it is. I even have item drop increase already. Maybe I need this. Increase the combat gauge by 3 blocks. I need this so much. I'm not gonna use guns too much, so I'm gonna... Yeah, I'll buy this. I know the 3 blocks for 90k. I don't need quick reload then. You're missing those HAs? What's HS, huh? I'm missing this one. Alright, item drop increase defense level 2 and combat gauge boost. So that I can keep... They have the big ass shield that blocks them from their head, and also I cannot headshot because I'm pretty bad at this game. Oh, now they know how to deal with this. Just burn them. Fair enough. Before they hatch, just burn them.
Here's.
Sir?
What happened to Ada Wong?
You remember. Captain,
Where is she?
she's leading Neo Umbrella. All these terrorists
Is she in the city or not?
Oh,
She's
Chris.
been sighted several times since the attacks began. Yeah, she's here.
Tell the men we're moving out.
Oh, Chris, you are here to fight bioterrorism, not fight against one people.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Chris, don't get your anger. Oh, I mean, I have anger management issues, but Chris,
Hell, Wong.
you did get that one sniper though? That's true. And that's like very high out and very far away with an assault rifle as well. I feel proud about that one. That's a really good shot. I need to play this way so that I'm not blocking the HUD. Where's Pierce? Hi, Pierce. Uh-oh. Wait. There. Am I jumping down? Oh, I am. Okay. Good job, man. Good job. Boop Pierce. Whoa! Snake? Snake? Invisible?
Alpha HQ, we're engaging a hostile.
Invisible
Marco,
snake?
everyone on me. We're going after that thing. You heard the man, people. Let's move. Go.
I love snake. I want to boop the snoot. Snoot the boop, boop the snoot of the snake snoot. I want to boop the snake snoot. Sorry, my kobold brain is my kobold brain is pretty much kicking in right now. I don't know if it's a good idea to play through this chapter. When snake pet. You missed the chance for snake pet this morning. Boop the snake. We have to boop the snake. Oh. Sorry, I saw that and my alien isolation instinct kicks in. I have to avoid that. My alien isolation instinct just kicks in. It's like, oh god, there's alien nearby. It's like, no, this is Resident Evil. That looks so similar. Oh god. A real life pet? I cannot afford one, nor do I think that I'm responsible enough to take care of one. I wish I have though, but it takes so much responsibility to take care of a single pet. And I don't think I'm ready for now. I can't even take care of myself properly these days. Or these years. That's a neat looking playground. Do we go through here? Looks like it. Or we can go here. Oh, this is the main road? I'm gonna try going through here. See what I can find. Or not. Chris, this is so within your ability to just jump over. Like, come on, Chris. What are you doing? Fine.
Hey, Roger.
Wow. We cannot see the snake though, isn't it? The snake is like invisible. Oh, shiny. Oh my god, Kobo found shiny.
Okay, let's move in, but be careful.
That's nice. Oh. Ammo, very nice. Oh no, I missed that. No. Pierce. That's a grenade. I cannot get it. Oh god. Oh, that just makes me even more sad. Why did I do that?
Piers, I'm on it.
Pierce.
Hey,
You don't have to tell me twice.
over here.
Yeah, I know.
Hurry up.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Over here.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Hurry up.
Yeah, I know.
Over here.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Over here.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Pierce, please.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Hurry up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know. Pierce, please.
Hurry up.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Pierce.
Over here.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Oh my god, Pierce, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know. Roger.
Thank you, Pierce.
Assume battle positions.
Oh. Did they just say Msaiking? Did they just speak Cantonese? They just said Msaiking or wait, no way. I must be hearing something. Oh god. There's no way they're speaking Cantonese, right? Pierce is determined to get through that wall. Pierce is too good. Pierce is like, this wall is nothing to me. That wall, mine. Oh sh! Oh, that's terrible. 你死梗, he says. Oh! Whoa, fuck. 2 points of health, that one? That's right. Ooh, ammo. Nice. Nice. Oh, more ammo? Oh, that feels good. Look at the amount of ammo I have. 開槍？開槍？有好多人開槍？有好多人啊！開啊！They're so speaking Cantonese. Ow. Oh, sorry, that's... what the shit am I looking at? Oh no! What am I looking at? Bitch. What is that? Hoi Chill, shut the fuck up, man. They're so speaking Cantonese. I cannot unheard that. Ugh, that's even worse than pee pee poo poo. My god, man. No. Yo. Stab. Hey man, rude. Don't. Oh. Uh-oh. That works, I'll take it. Good job, Pierce, good job. I'll get the legs, good job, Pierce. Also, by the way, that control-wise, let me just give you a bit of a brief rundown on how the knife control works. So usually in Resident Evil 6, you ready a weapon, and then you press the fire button to use the knife, right? So you use the knife, normally it's like this. You press forward and attack at the same time. He does this, a little step forward, and uses combat gauge. And you do backwards knife, it does this, a little bit of a longer range and longer range, but less AOE. So this, and you can do it really fast. This is how fast you can do it, right? So every time you cut, you have to press down and attack at the same time. And I love doing this, and it's so stupid strong sometimes. But yeah, no AoE sometimes is just pretty bad. Very, very dangerous, what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's pretty fun using a knife like that. Oh, hi, crit. Is that Pocket? That's Pocket. That's Pocket. Oh, I'm getting so much ammo.
Piers, I'm on it.
Piers. Was that ammo that I just missed? Welcome, Crip. Oh boy. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Stink. Hey!
They went missing 6 months ago in Adonia.
Oh. Are we supposed to fight against this? That is loud as fuck.
The umbrella's after them.
Captain, run out.
Take every one of those damn things down.
Oh, Chris is getting covered by anger.
Captain, it's Marco. That's an armored chopper they brought in. We need to protect those two down there.
We need to protect those two down there. Oh, the question is how.
Forget the chopper for now. Engage the Duavo.
How are we gonna engage them? Nice shotgun. Oh, are we helping them down there? Oh, we are. Okay. I got shot. Who shot me?
Captain, Keaton here. I can't reach those two on the radio. They're not responding.
What should we do? We wipe out the hostiles. After that, they're on their own.
Okay, one down at least. Pierce, please. I know that sniper of yours is really big, but my god, don't point it at me. Something's shooting me. How accurate are you? Every single shot? I need to shoot that one. There's one bug on the. Oh god, I cannot shoot them like this.
Patient like that before. Reed, uplink a reading to HQ.
Already on it, sir. Be careful. These suckers can really jump. Don't let up. These assholes have killed enough for one day.
Ow!
Cover them from all those Duavo.
Thanks, Pierce. You the best. Don't cut me. Just a second. Thank you. Thank you. Nice, nice. Thank you. Thank you. I really have to get those things. There. So there goes my ammo. It's okay. Ammo is meant to be used. Just, I prefer not to waste them too much like this. Okay, go down and fight with them. Shoot me then, yeah, keep shooting. How fucking accurate are them? That's crazy. They don't need to reload as well. I hate it. Oh, hey, since when you're here. I cannot believe this is happening to me. Thanks, Pierce. Thanks, Pierce. We got this, don't we? It's so stupid. They can shoot every single round and it hits. What are they, aimbot? Let's run for a little bit. Nope. I honestly don't know what I'm trying to do. Wait, am I supposed to jump down with them? Okay, you know what? Let's go down. There was like a ladder just now. I could try going down. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh wait, am I not supposed to be here? Oh, is this our starting point? Oh, oops. I'm bad. Oh, thank you. Oh god. That's a lot of asthma noises. Oh, there's two more of to kill, I think. Oh my god, the shot. Table slam. I don't think that's possible. There's no feedback if I hit them or not, which is kind of sad.
That's the last one.
Finally? That took way too long.
The chopper's pulling back. That'd be too easy. Come on, keep moving.
Captain, we should escort those two out of here. They'll never survive on their own.
We're moving out. Let's go.
We're gonna blow the door. Get ready.
Yeah, Chris is getting like angry
Hey, I'm on it.
because of Ada.
Interesting. Their legs are like a grasshopper's.
I don't care what they are, as long as they stay dead when you kill them.
Yeah, Chris is pissed. But this is bad though, right? Because that means that Chris is steering away from the main mission to combat bioterrorism. Now Chris is trying to get Ada. Oh my god. That's a lot of... Hi, Narix. Getting some bullet, at least. Nice. Wee. Hi, Pierce.
Roger. Hey, I'm on it.
Roger, I'm on it. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't want it. Hi, delicious, but not for head.
The chopper's back to finish the job.
Grenade launcher?
Come in. This is Alpha. The chopper's targeting us now.
Everyone, bring that chopper down and bring it down hard.
I got a grenade launcher? Oh, they're so dead. Oh god. Whoa, what just happened? Pierce, help! Thank you, Pierce. Gonna go to work and Wonder stream Wonderbolt. Wow. Alright, Lex, thanks for stopping by. Good luck with work. Okay. Where's my grenade? Bitch! Got one shot in. Over here, Pierce! Oh god! Thank you, Pierce. Where's the damn thing? Wait, no, I shouldn't be jumping down. I should be up there trying to find the chopper and bring it down. Get out! Oh! Okay, that's a bad idea. Pierce, over here. Thank you, Pierce. I hope I'm doing it. Oh my god, that is so painful. Save me! Over here! Save me, Pierce! Save me! What hit me? Oh god. Save me, Pierce! Save me! This is tough. Can you shoot me here? Well, they can. I missed! Am I not supposed to do this? Okay, I'm supposed to do this. Okay, good to know. That's a lot of shots of grenade.
Captain, we can't let them go.
Our mission is to terminate the BOWs.
But Neo Umbrella is after them.
I
Shouldn't we?
said Our mission is to terminate the BOWs.
Oh, Chris. Oh no. Chris needs to wake up. Chris needs to wake up.
I'm going after that BOW. Ada's not getting away with this.
Captain, please, you need to think things through.
Yeah. Captain, please. Chris, look at yourself. What are you doing? Although I have a grenade launcher though. Never give a boat a grenade launcher. You know, boat can just like shoot here. Now the kobold is too much power.
Piers, I'm on it.
Pierce.
Hurry up.
Pierce.
defeated my gear of calling them after half an hours. Accidentally pressed the call button. Dragon Jam.
Nice. Good one, defeating the fear. I would not be able to make calls like that, to be completely honest with you. I would just stay in fear for pretty much all eternity. I don't know how to call people. It's so scary just picking up a phone and then trying to call someone for official issues. For official things. It's too scary for me. I cannot do it. Praise your clumsy fingers. I'm glad it works. Like, as long as it works, I'm glad. Also, good job. Good heckin' job. Oh, shiny. Uh-oh. There. Shiny. Pierce, please. Pierce. Pierce. Thank you. Nothing behind. Sorry if this like quite. What the fuck? My eyes are gone. My ears are gone.
Damn it! Why won't this thing show itself?
Yeah, well, if the thing show itself, do you think you guys are gonna keep itself alive? Keep it alive? No, it's a self-defense mechanism.
Hey, I'm on it.
Why are we aiming automatically? I cannot put down my gun. Oh. Oh god, that's a snake. I should lower the cost of maximum jank at this point. Captain, wait! Captain, wait! Nice.
My men. You follow my lead or I'll find someone who will.
Do you even hear yourself?
Arg. Snake, hey, snake. Snack.
Snack.
Hey, snake.
Snake.
Snake. It's a kobold, 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 kobold.
Fine soldier.
Kobold. Oh, come on. Don't do this, Pierce. Don't do this, Pierce. Chris, you piece.
How are we supposed to drop this thing if we can't even see it?
Yeah.
Shut up and keep moving.
No, Chris, you're not yourself. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Eat something. Jeez. Come on, man. Not like this. I love you, Chris, but not like this. I mean, I have anger management issues most of the time, but man, not like this, Chris.
Keaton, not you too!
Oh boy. Oh boy.请注重功德。9楼。They're in Hong Kong. It's a kobold, 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 kobold. This is quite dizzy. Oh my god. I don't know who you are. Alright, you lucky. I'm not scared.
Clear.
Thank you for the 20 bits though.
Not here either.
Appreciate. I'm not scared. This game's not scary. I have a gun. I have a gun. I'm not supposed to be scared. Do you think I'm scared? No. Ah! I'm not... Well... Yeah, that just happened. Well, I tried. You know, I shot my pistol like a machine gun. You think I didn't try? Reed? Well, think again, because I'm Chris. I can punch this thing to death, I'm pretty sure. I'm scared as fuck. I hate it here. I mean, it's a snake.
It's making its way downstairs. Repeat, it's headed downstairs. You're not getting away, you sneaky piece of shit.
Sneaky piece of shit. Oh my god, they could have killed me.
The shit's in the way. Give me a hand. Piers. I'm on it.
Pierce. Is it flowing sound? God, this is a death mission. This is a death mission. This is such a death mission. Chris, you did this. Chris, you did this.
Everyone, report in.
Piers here. I'm on the 3rd floor.
Captain, I can't find Chap. He's gone.
My name
Hold
is
yourself, Marco. Where are you?
2nd floor. Oh shit. I think that thing's here.
Oh shit.
Target is on the 2nd floor. You all need to come here now.
Oh shit. My name is It's the classic. My name is Honestly, it's like one of my favorite old memes out there. It's one of my favorite one. My name is
Reed. God damn it.
Read. I can't read. Ooh, I hate this. Oh, it's so quiet.
Captain, I can hear Chap.
My name is
I'm coming, man. Just hang on.
Marco, don't move. Hold your position. Do you hear me? That's an order.
Oh, everyone's in disarray. Oh, everyone's in disarray. This is bad. 不要在此倒垃圾. If it's too quiet, too loud, I mean, maybe. I didn't know this game is gonna be so scary. I mean, sure, it's Resident Evil, but still.
Piers! Roger!
Piers! Piers! Snake!
Okay, we find that piece of shit and we put it down. Fast and hard.
Dental clinic? Wow. Am I going against that thing? Oh my god, am I gonna go? Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Pierce is still shit out of me, Pierce. What was that I can track with? Jeb! My name is Jeb!
Bastard.
My name is Jeb! My name is Jeb! Sorry, this is one of my favorite ones. My name is Jeb! Good kick, good kick.
Where are you, you son of a bitch?
God, watch your mouth, you fuck. no! Alien isolation! Run! Dude, what are you doing standing like that? Don't you have a survival instinct?
About time you showed your ugly face.
It's like a centipede and snake. Hey man, do I ever get a chance to react to that? Are we fighting it here? Oh. I was aiming at it! Sliding. Come on, man, I saw that. Goodbye, world? Oh my god, just like that? Oh shit, I guess I didn't shoot fast enough. I already unload all my bullets. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. I'm dead. Oh, don't do that. Oh. That is point blank, buddy. I pressed the wrong button. Goodbye. Aww. Bitch. Ow. Use more bullet. Freeze instinct? Okay, yeah, that's fair. I sometimes have freeze instinct as well. Shit. You killed my man! I'll kill you! Touch my people, I touch you! Hey! Hey! You touch my people, I touch you! How dare you touch my people? Schneeku? Cool beans. Very cool beans. Oh, Marco, not like this. Marco, please. Jangan. Do you want me to go in there, Captain? Do you want me, a captain, going in there? Do you want me, a captain, risk going in there? Alright. As a captain, I'll do it. If I die, I blame you. By the way, our friend says you have a... Camera, please. Camera. Help. What? Camera, what are you doing? Please, camera, please have a chill. Also, tell that friend thank you. I really appreciate that. Even though I honestly don't know if I have a calming, calm and relaxing voice, but I'm glad people think that I have one. That makes me really happy. Thank you. You touch my people, I touch you. I will touch you. Handgun's not gonna be good against this one. Ah! Fuck. Chris. Ah! Whoa, good stuff, Chris. Damn, you're dancing. I'm healing. Sliding. Oh, Pierce, what are you doing? Pierce is like, ow, something touched me. That was a little bit too close, that's why I didn't shoot. Camera, please work with me. For once! Pierce, save me! I'm Chris. Woohoo!
It's gone. After it.
It's gone, really? Hey, man.
It's not here. Find it.
I'm trying to. Oh, God.
That thing's in here. We're gonna end this.
Whoa! Oh, hi. Hi, Sneak. Pierce, it's right behind you, Pierce. Jeez, open your eyes. It's gone. That's pretty good, right? I can aim sometimes, I think. Wow! There's 2 goes for comfort. What, Chris? Chris, please, don't aim at the floor. Oh, nice. Oh, well, you were standing there. There you go. Those are some brave armed people. I know, right?
After it.
I saved you, hee hee. Embroidery? There's something down here. See this place? I'm gonna go in. What? Oh, is this going back? Oh. There must be some sort of emblem here. Where's shiny? Like brave. Oh! Oh, I'm so glad. Rolling is faster than other movement methods again. I know, right? Rolling is great in this game. Nice. Yeah, I think that's everything. Rolling. If it works, it works. Rolling around at the speed of rolling. Here's. Nice kick. Oh! Oh god, this is bad. Defeat the bow. What is that? How?
Its hide is toughened up or something. Our weapons aren't doing anything. Then we have to find something that will.
Like, please, camera, that was stupid. Oh!
Marco, power this thing up.
Oh! Marco, you're gonna die. Well, there goes Marco. And I wasted it again. I'm sorry, Marco. Hey, Marco, can you power this thing up again? Like, just saying, hypothetically. Like, if you're not dead, could you do that again? Do it! Yep. It did nothing. You got this, Pierce. I'm gonna wait for it here. Well, Pierce knows what he's doing. Oh, finally.
We did it. We fried that son of a bitch.
You got fried as well, Marco. Marcus.
Marco, are you okay? Marco!
No, Marco. So dead, so cool. Marco, not like this. Is there any drop for the sneak? I want to look down. Camera, please. Whoa. I'm not scared. Marco, you strong. Yeah, sounds about right. Looks about right. Knife. That made me jump. That actually made me jump.
At least we got it.
Yeah.
But no Ada yet. I'm not gonna rest until we have her head on a stick.
Roger. Hey, I'm on it.
Oh, Chris, you're gonna wake up someday. Miso would not have the power to pull people up like that. Yeah, I don't have that as well. Marco is gonna die here. Like, right here.
This is crazy. It's not safe in here. We need to pull out. Captain!
Yep, there it is.
Looking for me, boys? Welcome to China.
Ada!
You could have shot that. That's like 10 years for you to shot him. Shot her, sorry.
Wait! We've got no choice. We have to kill him. He'd do the same for us.
Oh, what the fuck? Sorry? Does this work? Whoa! Hey! No! I'm gonna die! Help! Ow. Piers! Save me! Save me, Piers! Ooh. Sure, showing why it was easy before the hatching. Yeah, well, Chris is not in his right mind right now, so yeah, too bad. Also, handgun surprisingly worked well against the bug just now. I'm so glad I was so quick to catch up on where to shoot it. Although that one flashbang was a little bit of a waste. Marco C4. Aww. My man! It's on you, Chris. You got too hasty. You forgot about a soldier's virtue. I don't know what the soldier's virtue is. I'm just saying.
Piers, I'm on it.
Piers. Still clear, Jesus, that's so close. What the fuck? That's so close. Oh, Chris.
Chris, we need to stay calm.
After what she's done to us, how many of our men are dead because of that bitch?
I'm right there with you, Captain. But your personal vendetta isn't gonna get us anywhere.
Yeah.
If you hadn't been blinded by vengeance, we could have prevented some of those deaths.
Shut up.
Yeah. Truth hurts.
Do you even care about our mission anymore?
Shut up!
I feel sorry for all the men that died believing in you. What happened to the legendary Chris Redfield, huh? What happened to you? It's a good thing Finn's not around to see you this way.
I'm going after Ada.
Oh, you didn't wake up after that?
HQ, this is Alpha Leader. I need a location on Ada Wong.
I'm going with you. Someone's got to keep an eye on you, whether you want them to or not.
This is like double rough for Piers.
This is HQ. We've got the location for you.
Alright.
Ada Wong has left the city and is heading south for the harbor. HQ to all teams. Target Ada Wong has been spotted, heading south for the harbor. We want her alive.
We want her alive? Do we know?
Piers, Roger. Piers.
We could have gotten a tranquilizer gun or some shit. There's like 10,000 chance to shoot. No. To shoot at Ada.
You want to follow me around? Fine. Just make sure you stay out of my way.
As long as you don't cross the line again, that won't be a problem. Ada's just playing with you. When are you gonna realize that?
Yeah,
I'm
man.
stupid enough to fall for her bullshit.
You already
A
did.
little more faith in your captain.
You. Oh.
Piers. Roger. Piers. Roger. Piers.
Chris, you already did fall for her trick. Stupid. Oh my god, Chris, wake the fuck up. Wake up, samurai. Whee! I hate that. Should I just run for it? If I know where to run. Oh my god, this gives me so much anxiety. No. Oh no, really? Where am I going? I'm just gonna run, just gonna run. This is not the time to fight. I hope I'm going the right way. Ow! I'm... Woo! I'll take it. Did you actually explode and you can still transform into a Joavo, really? Or BOW? You piece? No! Save me! Piers!
Over here!
Over here! There's so many guns on me! Save me! Over here, Pierce! Save me! Save me, Pierce! Oh! No fucking way. I'm not risking it this shit. Oh god, where am I trying to go? Help! Wee! You piece? Fuck! Where am I trying to go? Okay, follow that white icon. Ugh. Oh, it's here. Okay, okay. You can't just save me without thinking of Happy Wheels. I never played Happy Wheels before. I've seen people play it. It was a big deal. Am I safe now? Oh. Pierce. 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 You dumb fuck. Thank you. Ada.
Captain, get a hold of your stuff. The helo's about to open up on us.
Yeah, well.
Send ducks out here. We need to find cover.
I guess.
Damn it.
Damn it. Whoa, we're so dead. Pierce, you're so fast.
You gotta be kidding me. Don't talk, just run. Keep moving.
I'm doing it. Help. Uh-oh. Chris, I swear to God, please run. Do the parkour you're always meant to do. Sliding! Bye, Pierce. Ow! Did Chris just drown the moment? Did Chris just drown the moment he touched water? Chris, you bitch! What do you mean? Why that what killed me? Chris, please! Run! I don't care about Pierce anymore. Whee! Guess I wasn't fast enough. Run! Bye, Pierce. You got this. You're the AI. You got this. You're a pro gamer. You're a pro gamer.
Don't talk, just run.
Hey, Buck. 你死梗.
Keep moving.
Yeah, well, Pierce is dead, I think. Like, just saying, Pierce might be dead. Because I don't know where Pierce is. Camera, please! Sliding!
We need to reach that building.
Bye, Pierce. Bye, Pierce. Oh, checkpoint. Yo, Pierce did it!
This is HQ. Ada Wong has been spotted moving down the canal. Charlie and Delta teams form a perimeter around Kuchai.
All right, we can drop that chopper from here.
What? Do we have to fight the chopper again? Oh my god, it's giving us grenade launcher rounds. I hate that. Oh god. Okay, okay, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. Reload, What? Choop. That's right. Yeet. Oh, I got a red herb. This is more important. Oh god. Sorry. Oh. Guess we cannot kill it like this, huh? I don't know if it's actually working. I'm Chris, bitch. I'm Chris, bitch. Oh, is it dead? Nice. That's good enough, right? How am I supposed to fight against a chopper where you just keep loading on us like that? That's no way. Do you see how accurate the thing is? It's crazy. There must be some other way to do it, I guess. One down. Yep. What the fuck? I hear something. I hear something bad outside. What? Okay. Uh-oh. Is that bad? That looks bad. Okay, I think I need to run. That was tough. Ooh, more bullets here? Oh, that's a lot of bullets. Should just come here the first thing. That's a lot of grenade bullet. Grenade. That was a chopper already? Didn't see it go down? I know, right?
That's that. Now we get Ada. Copy that.
What'd you say? What'd you say like that, huh? What'd you say like that? Huh? You have something against me, Prius? You have something against me, huh? Okay, okay. Oh god, no, no fucking way.
She's here.
Please get away kindly. Thank you very much. I'm tired of dealing with all of you. Get out of here, don't even try. That's right. You didn't drop anything. Oh, good shot, Pierce. You're very immersed. Yeah. You really gotta be immersed in the game to have fun sometimes as well. But this is how I enjoy games. It's fun doing this sometimes. It's like, yeah, I'm Chris. What do I have? One green herb. Few of these. Not a lot of inventory slots, is there? I guess there's still some inventory management. Pierce. Pierce. Come on, Pierce.
Think this is where they've been developing the C virus?
Probably. Oh, you're so dead here. There's so many hiding corners. Oh, oh.
Ada.
Whoa.
Alpha Team to HQ, come in. We're in pursuit of Ada Wong.
No use hiding, Ada.
Are we though? Are we in pursuit of Ada Wong? Sorry, I'm just trying to find loot here. You know, as much as I want to find Ada Wong, you know, I kinda need some bullets here and there, you know, game. Just saying, just saying. Like, if I could get some ammo here. Oh.
Make a run for the elevator. Go.
Oh. Okay, fine. Hood. Oh, I know this part. Leon is here.
Glad you could stop in. Like what I've done with the place.
Oh, god damn it.
Hope you enjoy your stay.
Wee.
I hope you can, Ada. You're going down.
We're in! Bye, Leon. I know this part. Hey, this part we lost to Chris. I guess that's scripted? Whoa. Need bullets to kill mean women? I know, right? Such bully. One first aid spray, one herb. Gee, I'm just gonna throw this away. Whee! Yeah, at least one inventory slot in case I have a red herb.
I'm on it.
Hey, I'm on it. Oh, this is tough.
What the hell is all this?
Yeah, man.
Keep your eyes peeled. Who knows what this bitch has in store?
Getting a lot of bullets. See, there. See, that's Leon. And Helena. I'm gonna do the thing. I'll stay here, Pierce. I'll stay here. Oh, crap, stinky.
Engaging logs. Testing for prototypes.
I think it's this thing, right? I'm gonna do it. If I... If I also win this, it's not scripted.
We've been conducting such fascinating work here. Why don't you have some fun with one of the new prototypes?
Ow.
Your little bag of tricks isn't going to stop us.
Cute.
See if you can hold those things off, Captain. I'll get us past the lock.
Security breach detected in room 1. Security breach detected in room 0. Security breach detected in room 1. Security breach detected in room 0.
Oh, bye, Pierce. I messed up.
Room 1. Security breach detected in room 1.
Do it
Security
quick,
breach
Pierce.
detected in room 0.
Do it quick, Pierce.
Breach detected in room 1.
Pierce, did you do it?
Disengaging locks in room 1.
Oh, it's not scripted? It's not scripted.
Time to waste. Someone doesn't want us to catch Ada. She might not be working alone.
So I lost as Leon because I suck then. Wow, there's so many things. Oh my god. 5 dozen? Yo, 10 dozen? So it's not a scripted loss and win. That feels good. Right, where do I go?
Hey! Roger!
Whoa. Gonna need my gun for this? Nah. I can chase it. I can chase Ada with a knife.
You certainly are a take charge kind of girl.
I'm gonna be the first one. I'm gonna be the first one. Mom says I'm first. Mom says I'm first to do to. No. Oh, oops. Guess I'm bad. That run? That run? Come on, Ada. You're gonna get shot.
She always been like this?
Roger! I'm on it! Hurry up! Yeah, I know! Over here! Yeah, I know!
Over here!
Here! Yeah, I know!
Over here!
Yes, cut her off! I've got her!
Shoot! Shoot! You have 10,000 hours to shoot her! Thank you! Finally, some bullets on her shoes. You know you guys can... You know you guys can easily cripple her? You know, since HQ wants her alive.
Chris?
Theo, hi!
Leon! What are you doing here?
It's been a while. I hope you're doing good.
Put your gun down, Chris. She's a key witness. We need her.
A witness? She's the one who did all this!
No, it wasn't her. It was Simmons, the National Security Advisor.
I lost all my men because of her!
And I lost over 70,000 people, including the president, because of Simmons.
She's working for Neo Umbrella. You know what that means?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
And you're still going to protect this woman?
I am.
This is honestly a very cool scene. Shoot the leg. Pierce, please. Shoot the toe or something.
Captain!
Uh-oh. Whee! There it is. Oh. Damn, Chris just looked straight into it.
Freeze! Damn it!
They tried. I'm awake, hoping to talk to a guy about some VR full body trackers. Oh wow! That's really nice. 3 trackers man and 2 extra base stations for 200 USD. I don't know if that sounds good or sounds like a normal price. Sounds to you like a bargain? It does sound to me like a bargain, I think.
I know you'll do the right thing.
Each 5 tracker is usually 136 for single. Whoa. And then there's 2, 3.
Get in! Hey, Pierce. What you said about me hiding from my past. You were right.
Oh, yo.
Catch up to her? Won't stop until I do.
Oh, let's go. Are we chasing her now? Shit. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Whoa, okay.
This is Piers Nivens. Ada Wong is moving south to
Ads. Oh. Sorry, Theo. But ads do help me. Ads do help with.
I've had enough of these stupid games.
Whoa, am I supposed to shoot like I don't know. Get shot, get shot. Oh god, Pierce, drive, Pierce! Sorry, civilians. Ooh, get shot. I think I know how to use.
Lock up all the exits.
Sorry, no can do. All of our units are currently engaged. They don't have any to spare.
Damn it! You think this is part of our plans?
Oh, I cannot aim. Whoa, nice one, Pierce. And usually to get a full setup for full body is like 1,000? 1,000 is a lot.
Give up, Beta. We got you.
Got him. Oh, I'm getting dizzy spells from this. Nice. I'm trying to see if I can pick them up today. Back. Alright, Theo. Big good luck.
You're not getting rid of us that easily.
Big good luck with that, Theo.
The PSAA's got.
Jesus, Pierce, come on. Those are civilians. There we go.
Alpha, come in! This is Delta. We hear you're zeroing in on Ada Wong.
Yeah.
Trying to hold out on our end, but we ain't gonna last long. Gotta catch that woman before this gets any worse.
Don't worry, soldier. We will. Just keep those civilians safe.
Roger that. Good luck. Hopefully we can put an end to this shitstorm. Delta out!
Come on, Pierce. You are losing her. Oh shit. Whoa, Pierce, damn!
Captain, there's a train coming!
What, are you trying to... Damn, Pierce. What are we doing? Pierce? Oh, Pierce is finding her, huh? Very huge bargain. Yeah. Now that you explain how much of a thing that it cost, then yeah, it's a huge bargain. All the best to you again, Theo. You got this. So I guess I'm just gonna wait for Pierce to do this. Uh-oh. Oh shit, this is bad. I'm at the edge of my seat. Oh, there she is.
Hey, grab your gun. I'm taking the wheel.
Oh shit, how do I drive?
Hang on! I'm taking a shortcut!
Dude, Chris, holy fuck.
There we go! She's not getting away again.
Eh? Oh god! Okay.
You're not gonna lose us, Dana!
I want to... Okay. Accelerator, brake, boost. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the boost then. Oh god. I'm going in! Good luck, Pierce. Oh god.
Shit.
I'm already... My R1 button is almost...
She got away.
What? My R1 button is almost broken? Hello? How fast am I supposed to go?
There we go! She's not getting away again. You're not gonna lose us, Dana!
Whoa. Pierce, please.
Shit! She got away.
If Pierce doesn't shoot, there's no fucking way. If Pierce doesn't shoot, there's no heckin' way. Because I keep getting bullied by everyone.
She's not getting away again. You're not gonna lose us, Dana!
like this. Like if Pierce doesn't shoot, I'll just keep slowing down. It's always here. It's always here. Okay, I think I know what to do. ESP Home VR full body tracker. When I save enough money, I might get a full body VR headset. Otherwise, I would just continue using my 4-cent VR set. 4-cent? God. Get fucked.
Shit!
Okay.
She got away.
Can you use keyboard or something different? People say this is annoying as the trigger is way whack. Many complaints about this part, so different controllers or something is advised. That matters? Wow. Holy fuck, man. What's the keyboard controls for this? Select and enter. Okay, let me try using keyboard for this, yeah? If keyboard, I think it's up to left, right? Let me look at the key first, right? R?
She's not getting away again.
Show me the keys. Space. Oh, it's mouse, okay.
You're not gonna lose us, Dana.
Get fucked. Is this just me or do I feel way faster? No way, I feel way faster. This is way faster. No fucking way. I'm looking at the bottom right. Bottom right is... Wait, it's almost at the maximum. Yeah, it's at the maximum. See, if I use controller now... That's controller. Do you see how slow that shit is? No, it's a controller problem. It's a controller problem. Oh fuck, I went the wrong way. I went the wrong way.
Shit! Then that's where Ada's headed. We can't let her reach it. Hold on. I'm gonna jump it.
What? No. They didn't do maths right. On control, fully press might be just 0.5, and since keyboard is just 1 and 0 and 1. I mean, I guess. No, that's just bad. Alright, that's supposed to be easy, but because controller bad, didn't expect that. But yay, another A. God, I'm so hungry. Time Yeah, no wonder it's 8. Me is reading so many whack stuff theories about why it doesn't work well. Oh my god. I'm too hungry. I feel hunger. Also, make sure you don't start holding on R1 till after you start driving. I've noticed that if you hold it down too early, acts like you didn't hit it at all. Also, be sure to use your booster as soon as and often as possible. Yeah, I know about the booster, but I didn't know about the R1. Now that's just dumb. From a programmer standpoint, it looks like they don't do maths properly. Probably. It's a lot of different things, I guess. But all in all, that one just doesn't make sense to me. Cut your own tail and eat it? Don't! What do you mean? Don't eat kobold tail, I'll eat you. I'll eat you. Huh? I will eat you. Here, let me... Oh. Yeah! Look at that. Beautiful. A wonderful specimen. Kobold tail and grill it. It's not guaranteed that my tail is gonna regrow themselves. Don't do it. I'll cry. I will cry. Poke stick in the middle. It's worth the risk. No, it's not. Don't eat kobold tail. What do I want to listen to? Worst case, you get a free meal. How about the good case? I get my tail back. I mean, yeah, but it's painful. It's my tail. I don't want my tail to be just by... I like my tail to be intact, please. Here, let's listen to this. No, I don't want. I want to relax a little bit. This is nice. Best case, tails come back and you get more meal. That is truly the best case though. Free meals forever, won't have to buy food. There's such a cut on cost too, my god. Very tempting, but no, I like my tail to be intact. Does the tail just pop off? Do they now? Do they? Oh, wait, Puka is streaming now? Sure, let's raid Puka. Very ultra serious art stream. I'm the lizard. Okay. I don't have a tail. A Bunai has tail, hello? A Bunai has tail. I'm pretty sure Bunai has tail, albeit short. I'll pull your tail. I will pull your tail. What? My connection just says no? Seriously? There, okay. Oh, you want to rate Vice Cream Cake? Sure.
Hey chat. Did you know that motor sochen motor sochen motor sochen motor sochen motor soche?
Motor Suche. Does this one doesn't load properly, or is the upload being stinky? What is this? Sonic Frontiers? Wow. I think the upload of this music is like being dumb. Let's change the other one. Cozy winter coffee shop ambiance with sweet jazz. Ooh. Yeah, see, it just doesn't load properly.
put per pipe q p pops j k pops have put per pipe q p pops j k pops
Ow.
have put per
Oh,
pipe
hi,
q
Theo.
p pops page.
Did you do it? How did it go? Welcome back. But Tony Sonic was just let die again. I don't know. Hopefully not. You want me to raid ice cream cake, Roxas? I can do it. Also, I'm kind of jealous of people who can just stream games with maximum graphics settings. Like, God, it's my choice. Oh wait, you did tell me about some other people as well. Let me check my notes real quick. Oh yeah, Theo streams. Okay, let me see. There is Flyby, Osiris, Osiris, Danyard, and that strange wolf. Cooldown. Wait, TTS is cooldown? I think it's like 3 seconds. I think 3 or 10. Let me check is any of them are any of them like ramen. King Takoyaki, the Singaporean. Okay, Flyby is not that's a big one. Osiris? Since you already seem overwhelmed, let me add Methran ACT to the pile. Oh, is it Methran? Ooh. Osiris not streaming. Methran, alright. Methran, I'm very... Methran is playing Hades. Aussie. Rare occasion playing, finish them and have dumb emotes. Dumb emotes? I'm gonna look at it. Banan? Sorry, I'm getting hungry. I'm just like, don't know how to talk. Hunger is actually setting in and it's getting harsh right now. I'm sorry. That's why I'm a little bit quiet. Now you have an unfair ton amount of choice. I'm leaning towards Methran just because I've seen Methran before. Yeah. Yeah, Methran is with Bot and Hibby. Them, right? Yeah. Let's do Methran. It's making me want to play... It's making me want to play Hades again. Oh yeah, thanks Pinky. There's my coffee, there's my... Oh Pinky, try raid 2. I did it, I think. Here, let me summon Bernie real quick. Hey Bernie! Bernie!
I am once again asking for your financial support.
No FA. Social with S. No raid 1. Only raid 2. Only dragon? I wish I have. I wish there's only dragon.
Emotional damage!
think that's everything, right? Did we do Discord? Here. I think you did compatible, right? You know what? This time I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it for myself. Compatible. Yeah. See, I think that's 30 seconds cooldown. It's either 10 or 30 seconds. One of them. Either one of them. Probably. I think. Maybe. Alright, I had fun today. It was supposed to be an art stream, but I just began playing Jedi World car.
Did you know that in terms
There
of
it is.
kobold and dragon relations, Tile is the most compatible kobold for dragons.
Kobold for dragons.
Look at this pretty girl we got. She has horns. Yeah. I mean, you can do a lot of things with those horns.
I'm gonna type in the rate to math friend real quick.
They're long. It looks like they're kind of rounded on the tip. You know. You could do a lot of things with them. Like handlebars when you take your dragon boyfriend on and off a motorcycle. Instead of holding your waist, they could hold your horns.
No. No. Oh god. Alright, which one is gonna... Dan Naga? Yala Kobold. Memang Bitu. Cantik. Yay. I will cry. I'm gonna cry. This kobold is getting bullied.
Enda boli mela kukum benyak perkara dengan mirika seperti handle apabila enda membawa teman lelaki naga enda naga
Lelaki.
turang motosikal daripada meme gang.
Daripada meme gang. Meme gang. Meme gang. I will cry. Oh my god. Okay, I typed in the raid to Mathfriend. Mathfriend's playing Hades, yeah. It's making me want to play Hades as well. I still haven't uninstalled Hades because I honestly want to play the game. Now it's like there's so many games I want to play, but so less time, honestly. But man, what's the raid message? Raid 2, give me a moment. It'll be Kobo Raid says hi. No, it's not that. Not that. Hey, but god damn it. Yeah, Bagang is holding. Bagang is hold. Bagang is hold. It's a new. I'm reading to a new. New people, so I guess I'm not using that rate message. No, I'm not gonna. Yeah, new. I'm just gonna rate. I'm sorry, I'm getting too hungry at this point.
Did you know that in terms of kobold and dragon relations, Tobot is the most compatible kobold for draboots?
But
at
okay, sorry, I'm silencing it. I'm silencing it.
Has butts.
I'm silencing it because I need to rate soon.
I mean, you.
There. Oh god. Decor. Alright, I'm gonna rape my friend, okay? I'm getting so hungry, I'm getting hangy at this point. Okay, so before the raid, I'm gonna say thank you all so much for joining with me today. Really appreciate all of you. I love you so much. You guys are amazing. Okay? So not that you guys are all loved, you guys all matter, and you guys are valid. Alright? I nailed it. Yeah, I did it.
Thanks for streaming. Again, go roll off.
Aw, thank you for being here, really. I love y'all. So, here comes straight to Math Friend. Also, I think I'm missing some chat just now. I saw something. In regarding your friend, Pinky? Friend seems happy about you thanking them for complimenting your voice. I mean, I should be happy. I should be the one that's happy. Oh god. Hi Narix. Again. Kobold Red.
5ドロタイラウク5ドロタイラウクコボールドレードせずはい5ドロタイラウク5ドロタイラウクコボールドレードせずはい5ドロタイラウク5ドロタイラウク
I'm gonna do art on Thursday, promise. I will start on a new project and I'll try to research on what to do. What kind of style do I want for Linglong this time? I'll do a proper research. This time, I want to make I want to make Linglong as beautiful as possible, you know, as the dragons and stuff. Beans on dragon, that's a must. That's a must. I want to go for like a more beautiful kind of feel. So I'll see what I can do. I'll do a little bit more research on that one, and I'll start doing it on Thursday, and maybe even off stream, I guess. But yeah, I appreciate all of you being here. Love all of you. Be safe. See you guys on Thursday. Bye 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 bye. Bye 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 bye. Oh god. Oh god.
Central heaven! It is an honor for your
Oh no!
to bask in its beauty.
Hey, go Droxy. Welcome in. No, I'm just gonna let this load into chaos. Well, hi guys, how's it going? I'm playing my Hades mod. There's my shout out. No, no one's seen this yet. This is the first time this shout out's happening. I'm glad it still works. Welcome on in. Resi Evil 6. Yeah, why? Are you enjoying RE6? Are you having a time? Is it one of the Resident Evils of all time? Pinky suggested? Oh, thank you for coming in. Why did you play? Yeah, why did you play it, bud? Actually enjoying it. Nice, nice. It's got some fun to it, from what I've seen, from watching some people play it. Too many to greet at once. It is how it be sometimes. Yeah, welcome. I don't stream that much, but I stream occasionally. And I'm currently testing Hades Twitch integration, which I've been working on for the past week myself. So if I come over here and hide the game, there's a bunch of code behind it. Oh, actually, there isn't. There's a bunch of code behind it that I've been working on to make Hades more chat controlled. And we're just stress testing it and bug fixing it. And I'm happy to take on ideas too. Like, I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to implement them. But here's your example. Cat gets to vote on the burns. I cannot pick myself. So you can just put in the number you want to vote for and it votes for it.